Okay. Welcome back. I was planning on not doing any more tonight, but I went out and watched some fireworks. They're still going off. They're going to be going off like crazy for about 45 more minutes, but I don't know. My family is out of town right now, and it's just not as cool without them around. So I don't know. I watched them for a while. It's a pretty, where I live, it's not like the city puts on a show, but the residents. So I live in an area where there's like kind of 3 municipal units, like in pretty close proximity to one another. And the biggest one doesn't allow for fireworks in the city limits, but the other 2 do, or at least I don't know. I'm not sure about the westmost one, whether or not they do anymore. I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. But the eastmost one does, and so the smallest of the communities does allow for fireworks in town. And so a lot of people, you know, there's quite a few people that live in this region. And so what happens is a lot of people know people that live out here, and so, you know, everybody just kind of comes out here and makes an event out of it, and they let off their own fireworks, and it's pretty kick-ass. And then last year, well, the last 2 summers have been so dry, and last year in particular, so there were no fireworks because it was a fire hazard last year. So it's been pretty crazy. Yesterday was, I don't remember ever seeing a 3rd of July as busy as far as firework going off and everything as last year, but there's like no wind out there, so usually it's pretty windy here. I mean, at night it dies down, but it's just stagnant out there, and so there's just this huge, it's this oppressive cloud. Just anyway, I don't know. I was like, well, let's climb the mountain here. I'm probably not going to fight the bosses tonight, but we can climb the mountain. When I did the run with Lulu, the Lulu is the main, I just used the flee command up the mountain because I just wanted to get up top and get that weapon for her, but we're not doing that in this one. And most of the stuff up here should be susceptible to petrify anyway, so it's kind of not really going to be all that challenging, or it shouldn't be all that challenging. We should kind of smoke this here. I'm thinking. But it was really encouraging to have gotten that drop there from the Ronso battle. That was pretty sweet. I swear there are supposed to be chests behind one of these pillars. There's supposed to be a chest. But, you know, I might just be thinking of at the top. And I've looked and looked and looked, and I don't see a chest anywhere. So the chest that I'm thinking of must be at the top. So let's get this on the way here. One last goodbye to all the Ronso folk. Sorry to hear. Oh yeah, what do you got here for me, buddy? Okay, so dude, I would take that if it was for Wakka. Why can't... because they don't... Yeah, it's because of the piercing. Well, actually, it's probably more cost effective to just take the 10%. We're not going to be able to come back here either. It's probably... Well, let me take a look at that real quick. If I want to customize this stuff. And... so piercing is a level 2 key sphere. Not that big of a deal. Plus 10 to strength is a skill sphere. That's kind of... You know, honestly, I should just do it that way. That was not that good of a find now that I think about it. I should just buy this. Well, first of all, let's do this. Let's go ahead and, okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and sell off everything we don't need. Do we really need this? Well, I can hold on to one of them. Not that we'll probably ever need it, but let's just hold on to one. We don't need any kind of elemental wards. I mean, elemental wards are... we don't need that. Death ward, I'll hold on to that. Stone ward... nah, stone proof we'll hold on to, but stone ward, we don't need that. We don't need that. Pretty much the only thing ward-wise I think keeping is probably Berserk and Stone. And then to a lesser degree to Confuse, but are we ever going to have her in there where it makes a difference? I don't think so. We'll keep the Berserk ward. We'll keep the Stone ward. Keep the Berserk ward. Do we really need that for anything? I don't think so. Take the money. Am I ever gonna use that? I'll hold on to it just in case. Yeah, it's just... I thought I had got such a nice find there, and then I realized, but I'll hold on to it. Elemental strikes, nah, we don't care. And we don't care about that. It's a touch. Poison touch. We should have some poison fangs in our inventory. We should be alright on that. We've been using this. Nah, we're gonna get rid of that. We don't need that. I'll hold on to that. We don't need that. We don't need that. That's not bad. A 3 slot, open 3 slot, I'll keep that. And what could I possibly use that for? Just because it's so expensive to build, I'll hold on to it. Magic plus 5, how expensive can that be to build? Let's look. Mana Spring? That's kind of spendy. I'm sure we should run into more people. I'm not gonna sell that. We'll keep that. Definitely keep that. Yeah, who cares? Nah. Keep that. Alright, well, we got 2.6. We got almost 250,000. We got over 250,000. So that means we can go ahead and buy that. That is worth it. Man, it would be nice if that piercing could just be on here with the strength. That would be so freaking bomb, dude. Temp hit points. How much is 10%? What's that cost? Add 10% hit points. I can't. I don't have the item to add 10% hit points? That's strange. Makes me want to buy it. Okay, so we're gonna buy that. No, we're not gonna own that. We're gonna keep that in our inventory. And what about her though? Yeah, she's got that already. I'm gonna buy, it's only $4,000. I'm gonna buy that. No, we're not gonna equip it. And arm guard. Arm guard is Wakka, right? Yeah, arm guard is Wakka. You know, I don't think that's going to be an issue except for maybe her. And it's not something we're going to be too concerned about except for him. Alright, now let's see here. So we have... Customize... Wakka... So if we're going to put piercing on there, that's a level 2 key sphere. We got 9 of those, not a big deal. But if we're going to add +5, I wish you could stack that +10, that would be nice. So if we add this, that's a stamina spring and leaves us with 0. I don't remember who we get those from, but obviously we haven't encountered, well, probably it's been a rare steal from a few enemies that we have encountered. But it's probably going to become a... Because I think that's what you can cast Protect with. That's what I think. We're not going to waste our time with that. But 15% plus piercing would be decent. A decent start. But we don't need that just yet. I just wanted to make sure I had it in my back pocket. You know, one thing I will say about the fireworks this year, they're getting louder. The visual, fantastical displays are not a whole lot different than they've been for a very long time. But dude, they're getting loud.
What is it this time?
Like, I don't know what the fascination is with the loudness. Like, I'd rather have the visual than the audio. I mean, what do I care how loud it is? Like, if I want loud, like, who cares about loud? Well, you know, I shouldn't say that because there's a lot of people out there who do care about loud. You hear people with their radios up really loud. The worst is people on motorcycles. They come up to a stop sign and it's like so freaking loud, dude. It's crazy how loud the speakers are on these bikes. It's like, why? You know? Why don't you just put some earbuds in when you're driving down the road so you can hear? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the point is. Unless they just want people to look at them. I mean, I can get that. That would be the thing that makes the most sense. And then there's, you know, the vehicles themselves that people modify the exhaust so that it's really loud. People have been doing that for decades. And they've been making their stereos loud for decades as well. I mean, I get it if you're like in high school, you know. I understand. Sure, you're in high school, you know, there's so many new things in the world and you're trying to figure out, you know, who you are and express yourself. And most people in high school are just following other people, trying to, you know, fit in and be part of the herd. Because, you know, in junior high and high school, if you don't fit in, if you're not part of the herd, you know, that can be kind of a catastrophic event. But as you get older, you realize that, you know, there's basically two groups of people. There are the people that the followers follow, and there are the people that follow. You know what I'm saying? Either, I mean, people don't necessarily have to follow you. I mean, how do I say it? So, there are followers, and then there's the people that just go their own way. And if people follow them, then so be it. And people don't follow them, then so be it. They're just going to be their own unique individual. That's who they are. And there's all so many different kinds of people out there, but they usually boil down to either people that are being herded around by the herders, the sheep herders, or they're the sheep themselves. It kind of boils down to one of the two. You don't necessarily have to be... it's not inherently good or bad either way, you know. Just because you follow others doesn't... It's not a burn on you. Or just because you lead others doesn't mean you're good. Like, there's a lot of people who are leaders that are bad people, man. Really, really bad people. So, it's not like a good or bad thing, being a follower or being a leader. But in high school, and it's probably even more so in junior high school, not being part of the herd is... I mean, the people who are, I mean, it's not a whole lot different. You know, the older I've gotten, the more I've realized that, I swear there's something up here. I realized that age doesn't matter that much. People are about the same. So you look at people when they are like in the second grade and the way they interact with other, you know, their peers. And then you look at people when they're 85 and how they interact with their peers, and there's honestly not a whole lot of difference, you know. It's just that when you're in second grade, it's like, well, my dad can beat up your dad. And then when you're 80, it's my son can kick your son's ass. I mean, people don't change that much as far as how they interact with their peers. And I mean, I'm making it very simple here, obviously, because it's more complex than that. But, I mean, I see people of all age groups, whether they're, you know, junior high age, or sometimes you see little kids, you know, playing around with one another at the grocery store. Usually it's like siblings or something, but sometimes it's friends. And then you see, like, middle-aged people having conversations, and you see elderly people having conversations. And there's just this one-upsmanship that never seems to end. And I don't know, I guess I find it comical. Ooh, that hurts. So that's 2 times in a row. It didn't land. There we go. Soul Spring. Okay. That's where we get them. From that guy. That's why we haven't had too many of those. But anyway, as far as leaders and followers, I mean, it's not always like that. I mean, sometimes you can just have a friendship where there's just a mutual respect, and you know, there's neither one are really leading or following. You just appreciate one another for who they are, and you're just friends, and you know, you have a mutual respect for one another. And you're not caught up in all of the, you know, pissing contests of life, right? But honestly, I think those kinds of relationships are kind of rare because, you know, there's a vulnerability that that has to be there in a relationship like that. It's just the way it is. I should have bought some Phoenix Down while I was down there. kind of cutting it close. You know, honestly, I don't use that many Phoenix down. We'll be alright. Come on, man! Dude, I don't have magic. I can't mug. You gotta go after her? Anyway, I think, you know, you probably have to have known somebody quite a while, or, I mean, maybe not. Maybe it doesn't take that long sometimes, but there has to have been... Yeah, I don't know. You would have had to know that person for a while, I think. I just don't think most people are going to let down their guard that quickly and make themselves that vulnerable to someone where, you know... I don't know, I guess... I'm trying to think, you know, when I meet a new individual, how am I with them? And I guess I don't show my cards. I just try to read them and find out who they are. And then, you know, if they earn my trust, then, you know, maybe I'll show them a little bit more of who I am. But for the most part, I'm pretty generic with people when I first meet them. And unless you get to know me fairly well, I'm just going to be generic with you for whatever existence that we share together, because it's just not worth my time to try and invest anything in you if you don't at least show some signs of being, how do I say it? I don't know, everybody's different, you know? So, like, I meet people, I don't know where to begin. I guess usually I'll find out pretty early on whether or not...
Let's get him, guys!
Whether or not there's anything that I'm gonna be able to pull from this relationship that will better me. You know what I mean? I don't mean that in a selfish way necessarily, but you know how you meet somebody and it's like, okay, wow, there's a lot I can learn from this person, right? And you can tell that right away. Like, there's a wealth of knowledge in this individual, and it would be good for me to tap into that information. People like that are pretty rare. You don't often run into people like that. Or at least in my experience, I don't run into a lot of people like that. I do every now and again. You can always learn something from somebody, but I think most people that I run into, you know, it's I'm gonna have to comb through a lot of shit to find much of anything useful that I can learn from this person or gain some kind of insight that I didn't have before. But it's not always been that way, you know? It's taken decades for me to reach that spot. What am I doing here? So, like, for example, one thing that I really respect in an individual is self-discipline. I think it's one of the things that in our society is greatly lacking. People don't have self-discipline at all. Very, very, very rarely do I run into someone that I'm like, oh wow, This individual has massive self-discipline, and I respect that a great deal. And, you know, what can I learn from them that will help me grow in my own effort to become more self-disciplined? Okay, that's a good example. Because that's just not a common commodity in today's world. I guess that would be like a primary example. I'm not like talking about tangible things. I'm talking about like information, knowledge, points of view on life, ways a person can grow stronger, ways a person can, you know, better themselves as an individual, you know, things that transcend, you know, things and money and stuff like that. Like, you know, money is just a tool, okay? So in, you know, our society, it's an important tool, don't get me wrong, but it's just a tool. It just makes things easier. So like, for example, if you, you know, you're working on a car and you need a particular size wrench, but you don't have it, and you don't even have a vice grip, but you do have a pliers. Well, that's going to probably suck to try and do the job or the task that you need to do. It's probably going to suck real bad. It would have sucked if you had a vice grip. And now, you know, you don't even have that. So, you know, you're probably better off just going and buying that size socket that you need or that size wrench. Because trying to do it without the proper tool it's probably going to be pretty shitty. So that's kind of the way I view money, right? It's just a tool. Now you need money to go buy that tool. So you're basically trading one tool for a different tool. Because you can't take that cash money and use that to turn the nut. You need the proper tool for that. So in that sense, money just makes your life easier because it gives you the right tool to do the job. But ideas are a lot more powerful than money. Like, for example, the idea of self-discipline or the idea of honesty. Like, those are huge. Huge. Imagine if everybody in your community was always honest and was self-disciplined to the point where they weren't actively working to destroy themselves. I mean, think about how much better your community would be as a whole. Because I would bet money, and I'd win money on this bet, that most people in your community, oh no, well that's a problem. See, we got fire on this thing, and that's no good. Well, it should still turn them to stone. So I would bet money and I would win money when I would say that I would bet that people in your community are lying regularly. We might die here. Oh no, I guess not. Still only 600? It was 600 early. It was 600 in very early game. That's weird. They don't go up in damage. I don't know. Maybe that's weird. So I would be willing to wager money, and I would win money on this bet. There, a majority of the people in your community, and I mean, in most people's community. I mean, I can't say everybody individually because, you know, somebody might live in a community of 5 people, and they're all very self-disciplined and honest people. But I would say, generally speaking, the people in a generalized situation, most of the people in the community where you live are dishonest. They lie daily, multiple times a day. If they would take close inventory of their life, they would realize they lie dozens of times a day, most likely every single day. And they do things that are completely and totally self-destructive, like the kinds of food they consume or the beverages they consume, or all sorts of different things that they might do to damage their bodies and minds and spirit, you know? Gold hourglass, that's always a good one. It's kind of tough to get too. I would challenge anyone to go one day. Don't tell one lie to anybody, not even to yourself. Like, oh man, I need that cigarette. Dude, that's a lie. Don't lie to yourself. You don't need that cigarette. You want that cigarette. That cigarette's killing you. But aside from like giving up vices and stuff like that, that's a whole other thing. But it still comes back to self-discipline. And believe me, I smoked cigarettes for 20 years. More than 20 years, probably. I started when I was probably like 16. And the last time I bought a pack of cigarettes, it was August of 2016. So I don't know how old would I have been in 2016. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it for a second. Either way, minus 3. So 21 years, I guess. I smoked for about 21 years. So and giving up cigarettes was brutal. But
what should I do?
I don't for half a moment regret having done that. I mean, it was hard. It was really, really difficult. But it was worth it, you know. It was worth it. Man, these guys have really high magic defense, dude. Like, brutally high magic defense. I was taking like 100 off these guys before. Or like enemies in the previous level, down in the Calmlands. And now I'm getting like 15. This is gonna be a slow process. But I'm not necessarily talking about vices. That's a whole other thing. But just being honest, you know, just be honest with yourself, be honest with other people. Do that for one day and catalog how many times that you have to struggle just to be honest with yourself or other people. I bet you would be shocked. Because most people don't think about it, you know what I'm saying? They don't think about it, they just go about their life, they say what they have to say to get through their day. They do what they need to have to get through their day. So anyway, after having gone through all the things I've gone through in my life, it's challenging for me to find people that I can say, hey, I have a lot to learn from you. Now, there are things I can learn from everybody. Everybody's got something that you can learn from them. No matter who you are, no matter who they are, there's something that you can learn from that individual. But it might be hard to find. It might be really hard to find. There might not be much there once you find it. But there's something. I should have probably hasted Riku there, because we don't need to waste our mug with this rare commodity of MP on this hill. And I need to, with Titus, because there's no save point along the way. I need to be a little bit more mindful of what I'm getting myself into here. And these guys hit hard too. So because I don't find very many people that I say to myself, hey, you know, I need to invest time and effort into this relationship because it's going to be worth it in the long run. Since that's a rare occurrence for me, I just simply am very generic with most people. I try to be kind and just go about my day as best I can without doing anything that would breed negative energy in someone else. There we go, there's that lightning shield paying dividends. It's fantastic. This guy should give me some magic. 15 points! Dude, why? Why is it capped? Why is Lancet capped at 15 points on this hill? I should be going after the electricity guy. There we go, lightning shield paying dividends. Let's go ahead and kill one of these guys. I can come back to that lightning guy later. Well, at least it doesn't piss him off. Keep on attacking him. He's got that lightning shield, bud. Keep on paying dividends, bro. There. Okay, he's gone. Let's go steal and let's pull as much Lancet as we can. Why are they capped at 15? I don't get it. That's gonna wipe her out. Wow, she's still up, and that's kind of surprising to me. Alright, I'm just gonna kill him. I don't know if I'm gonna get up there. How long is it gonna take to get up this freaking mountain, dude? Probably still faster than if I didn't have... And the thing is, he's gonna run out. Titus is gonna run out of magic. Because he has even lower magic strength. Damn it! We just wasted some. Boy, we're in a bad spot right here. I hate to do this, but I'm going to because I don't want to die here.
My name's Yuna. Pleased to meet you.
Damn, dude. We might be done. This might be the end. Because I didn't heal in between battles, so she couldn't take the punch. Who's B? I think it's like they're all hasty, don't they look all jittery? Oh, he's going next. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's use a Phoenix down on her. And let's she knows haste. But I've been using her to heal. That'll do it. That'll get us out of this mess. Probably should have used the Phoenix down. It's immune to it. Okay, well. Now you're... Oh, we almost died there. It was awfully close. I'm tempted to use a ether on her. Just in case I have to bring her back in, she can cast haste again. But let's hope we don't fall to that. Well, now he knows haste too. So, if you keep Titus in on basically every single ball, get haste 2 before you get to the top of Mount Gagazet. And we can unlock that level key, that level 3 now for her. All those open slots. So it's like kind of a rip-off. I got her Kiraga. Or Kira. I probably should. I wish you could heal outside of battle. That was an oversight on my part. Himari. You gained 13 points for that Ronso battle. Yeah, boy. Oh, and he doesn't like that either. Damn, okay, wrong guy. Boy, either way, no matter what I do... Oh, let's get rid of this guy first. Alright, we got fortunate there. Anyway, everybody is on their own different path in life, right? And everybody's at a different stage at different times, and that's just how it is. But the key is to better yourself every day somehow, some way. At least try to do that. And if everybody did that, if everybody just tried to do something to make themselves a better person every single day, and it doesn't matter what it is, like, okay, I'm just gonna like not drink that can of soda pop today. That made you a little bit better because you exercised some self-discipline, I mean, you made you a lot better, actually, because 1, you exercised self-discipline. 2, you made the realization that drinking that can of soda pop wasn't good for you. And then you followed up on it by exercising self-discipline. So, I mean, that's a lot. That's actually a lot. For one day, that's a lot. You know? That's a lot. For some people, that's insurmountable. You know? Some people are like, I couldn't give up. I have to have that, as many cans of soda pop as I can have, So, it doesn't matter what it is if a person can do something, anything, no matter how small that somebody else might think it is, or how small, because I mean, you can't compare yourself to anybody else. That's totally BS, You're not somebody else. You are who you are. And so, having these pissing contests, like I was talking about earlier, just don't get in that. Just don't take part in the pissing contests, because nobody wins. Everybody who's in the pissing contest loses on some level. It's always a loss. It ends the cycle of losses. So, don't compare yourself to somebody else, because your struggles, the things that you struggle with, maybe I'll put it this way. Maybe the things that you struggle with would be something that wouldn't be a big deal for somebody else, When I used to smoke cigarettes, I knew people that could give cigarettes up whenever they wanted, They could, I'll just have one, here and there, and, I don't need to have whatever. I'll just, if I feel like it, I'll have one, and they don't control me. That's not how it was with me. It was very binary with me. Either I was a cigarette addict and I smoked cigarettes, or I didn't smoke. It was one or the other. I didn't have the capability in me to, casually smoke cigarettes. It didn't work that way. I tried that. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Like, when I tried quitting many times, and, the closest I got before I actually gave them up, I did, give them up for a window of time, and then I started lying to myself and saying, well, maybe I'll just have them after work. I won't have them at work. I won't have them before work. I'll just have them at the end of my day. Or I'll have them at this point, but I won't have them at another point. And that was just a way of me lying to myself and telling myself lies and convincing myself of lies. That's all that it was. It was just a vicious cycle of me destroying myself through lies and lack of self-discipline. That's the way I see it now. I mean, I didn't see it that way at the time. I had a different perspective. The perspective was, I needed that freaking cigarette, man. I mean, honestly, if I was put into a position where I had $5 left to my name, and I could choose to buy some food, take it home with me, or I could buy a pack of cigarettes and go without food, I would have taken the pack of cigarettes. There would have been no... There would have been no debate in my mind. I would have just picked up the pack of cigarettes and got home.
Listen close, Una. Your future.
Because, if push came to shove, I could probably find food somewhere else.
Whatever way that may be, you have your father's.
But I wasn't going to go without cigarettes, I'll tell you that.
Una, I will always be with you.
I remember times where I would run out of cigarettes, and I'm not proud of this, but I would take I'd go through my ashtrays, find the ones that had the most tobacco in them, and empty that tobacco out and roll it up into a zigzag and smoke a cigarette like that. I've done that before. Not proud of it, but not gonna lie about it. Pretend it didn't happen. But I am blessed to not be in a situation where I have to struggle with that problem anymore. Things could have been a lot worse, you know? I could still be smoking. And you know, the thing is, when I went through my divorce, it's really, 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 really good. Dude, only 1 point? What determines how much he pulls off that lancet? Oh, dude, I wonder. Is every time that you lance it, the number just goes down, or what? You get so many lancets, and then it doesn't work anymore? Because lancet is a Ronso move. It's Kamari's move. Well, now it's going back up again? Does it go down and then back up again? I don't know. This is interesting to me. Or that was a different character. I don't know. But if I had not given up cigarettes when I did, and had already kicked the habit before I went through my divorce, I would have been smoking 2 or 3 packs a day. Because the last time that I went through severe heartbreak, that's what happened. I was smoking over 2 packs a day, every day. But when that happened, I was in my mid-20s, so it wasn't a real big deal, you know? Or I shouldn't say that, but my body was able to repair itself. Because, you know, I'd been smoking for 10 years, but you know, I was still in my 20s, man. Your body fixes itself, like, really, really well. Up until sometime... Well, it slows down for everybody at a different pace, but I would say... I would say right around when somebody turns 30 is going to be right around the time where... You know, the body just isn't repairing itself as good as it used to. And sometimes that's earlier and sometimes that's later in life, depending on the individual. But sometime right around 30, I would say is a pretty safe number. I mean, if you look at like professional athletes, for example, they usually have their peak years, and I say usually because everybody's different. But their peak years, where the talent level, let me put it this way, where their knowledge of the game is maybe not at its peak, but it's the intersection of where their knowledge of their game and their raw talent, where their raw talent is still high enough. And they've learned enough intellectually about the game where, you know, once they reach a certain spot, they're going to lose a little bit of their raw talent due to age. Okay? So there's this window of time where their knowledge of the game will start to carry them when they lose a little bit of their raw talent due to age. But eventually, Father Time will catch up with everyone, you know, except for Tom Brady, apparently. I don't know what that guy sold his soul to the devil or what, but maybe he's an alien, I don't know. Maybe he sleeps in a hyperbaric chamber like Terrell Owens. I don't know. The guy does treat his body like a temple. He does not consume things that are bad for his body very often. Very rarely does he consume? I don't think the guy eats any kind of, even bread, and bread's not necessarily bad for you. That's a guy that everybody can learn a lot from. If you want to talk about self-discipline, that guy. He's got self-discipline coming out of every pore in his body. He oozes self-discipline, that man does. That guy's got more self-discipline in the fingernail clipping that he throws in the garbage than I have in my entire being, that guy. But eventually, you know, he just won't be able to physically do it anymore. Even if he has the game completely mastered mentally, he just won't physically be able to do the things that he's been able to do anymore. What'll probably go first is the long ball. And then once defenses realize that he can't accurately throw the ball more than 15 or 20 yards down the field, then he'll have maybe 1 year left and he'll be done. Because you can't live under 20 yards forever. You have to be able to take a shot every now and again. And when you take that shot, you need to maybe be able to make the defenses pay. If the defenses know that they just have to protect the first 20 yards, I don't care if you're Tom Brady or not, eventually that's not going to work anymore. Ouch. So I guess the moral of the story, the point that I'm really trying to hammer home is just every day try to do one thing that you can say, you know, you did something to better yourself that day. And it could be anything. Anything. Give up something that's bad for you. Tell the truth in that spot that normally, you know, you would tell a white lie, right? Just because somebody tells a lie is, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, they're like telling big, huge, terrible lies and the worst thing ever. I'm just saying sometimes people just say white lies because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. But it's still a lie. And at the end of the day, if you're honest with that person, I think, you know, I think that was something that over time started to, so I would tell my ex-wife white lies to spare her feelings about stuff. It wasn't that I had done anything wrong, you know, like I wasn't lying to cover up my errors or something, but she would say things, you know, like, does this, blah, 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 and so, or, you know, because she just always said stuff that was, I don't know how to, I don't want to go too deep into those waters, but I just felt it was best to tell her a white lie than it was to just be forthright. But I'm not married anymore, so maybe it would have been better if I'd just would have been just completely honest and just, you know, ripped the Band-Aid off and then just dealt with it. You know? I don't know. We'll never know. But, you know, going forward, that's something I can work on. I've got a long ways to go myself. It's not like I don't make errors every single day. I have a lot of things to work on. And I'll be working on them for the rest of my life. Even the moment that I take my last breath, I will have way more things to work on than I will have things that I've accomplished or overcome, or however you want to look at it. Well, I think my objective at this point is, so I slept in the last 2 days because I didn't have to work. And I needed it. I was exhausted. But today I slept in a little bit later than probably I normally would. So I'm not really tired right now, which kind of sucks because I do have to get up in the morning and go to work. Well, I don't have to. I'm choosing. In the morning. I could just say, you know what? They can just deal with it. But, you know, would that make me a better person for doing that or not? I'm going to say probably that's not making me a better person by doing that, so. Hopefully tomorrow night, ooh, that worked out well. Hopefully tomorrow night, I'll be tired enough. I don't want to be exhausted. I hate being exhausted. It makes me miserable. But hopefully I can get a good night's sleep. Haste armlet? What? No, it's gonna be SOS. It's gonna be some, and it's for Kamari anyway. So there's no way it's gonna be anything good. Yep, SOS haste for Kamari. So it's just straight trash. No, auto haste for anybody. I'd start using Kamari, I think. Well, not this late in the game. It's too late for that. But I could bring him in certain circumstances that I would never normally. If he had auto haste, I could definitely use that to my advantage. I wonder if you can get auto haste drop from anything other than monster arena type caliber weapon or enemies. That is something I wonder. You know, it's ironic, there really isn't any boss until you get to the very, very top, and you've already got a couple save points by then. But between the base of the mountain and the cavern at the top, there is no checkpoint, there is no save. And it's a tough path, because these monsters are exhausting. These battles are exhausting. They're mentally exhausting is what they are, because you gotta be careful. Like, this battle, probably not so bad here. But, you know, it's actually proved to be a boon for me that I have fire on this weapon, because since I have fire on this weapon, when I hit those bombs, they don't get pissed off about it. And so that is quite the boon. Because you can't even lance at them without them getting pissy about it. Did I haste him yet? No, I didn't. There we go. What? She must have already attempted to steal one time, because you're guaranteed to steal on the first attempt. Every now and again there's a straggler. By law, you're not supposed to shoot off fireworks after midnight, but every now and again I hear something going off out there. Somebody not doing everything they can to be their best self, no doubt. Probably somebody who's maybe had a few too many adult beverages, having some fantastic ideas enter their mind. You know, I would say of all of my great ideas, or at least the ones that I thought were great ideas, I had so many of them when I had been consuming adult beverages. Isn't that funny how that works out? I hardly ever drink anymore though. I just decided some time back that the pleasure to pain ratio is way out of whack, and it's just, if I look at all of the self-destructive choices I've made, all of the really bad life choices that I've made, really high percentage of those, I mean, extremely high percentage of those were impacted by me having consumed alcohol before those choices were made, or while those choices were being made. And so it's just like, you know, why am I, I don't need this in my life, you know? I mean, I wouldn't say that I don't ever consume alcohol. It's not like cigarettes, where cigarettes owned me and I had to give them up because they were harming me terribly. Alcohol, I hardly ever drink, but every now and again I'll have a beer with a friend or something like that. It's not gonna cause, you know, if I have like one or two beers, it's not gonna damage me. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna start making poor life choices because I had one or two beers. Because if I have those one or two beers, odds are I had it with a meal in a social environment. At least anymore, that's the way it is. I never was one for liquor. I do like a good dark beer though, every now and then. And in the summertime, I like the lighter beers. Not like Bud Light or something like that, but like, you know, like a lighter beer, you know, not a dark beer, a non-dark beer. It doesn't have to be like I prefer stouts and stuff like that, but like an ale is fine. Like honestly, like one of the best summer beers that I could think of is Shiner Strawberry Blonde. It's fantastic. It's like 3%, 3.5%, so it's not like it's gonna, like, you know, wreck your world. So it's pretty watery, but in the summertime, you know, that's kind of what you want. You don't want, you know, something with a whole lot of alcohol content. You don't want something that's a real heavy beer. You want something light and refreshing. That stuff, if you can find it, Shiner Strawberry Blonde is made by Shinerbach. They brew their stuff out of Texas. That stuff is kick-ass. As far as, you know, summer beers go.
Summoners that die appear.
And it's a seasonal beer. You're not going to find it in the winter, and if you do, it's old.
Why not?
Who would send them? They die alone.
So that means...
Many have become fiends, and they may want Yuna's company.
Well, Yuna will be fine.
You're right.
I tell you what, this is how often I drink anymore. The last time I had a beer was on Super Bowl Sunday. I had 2 beers over my buddy's place. I can't even say for sure the last time I bought a beer. I can't tell you the last time I was in a bar. Well, I mean, I've been in a bar, but the last time I sat down in a bar and ordered a beer or something. That I am not sure.
Riku, think later.
Okay, okay.
Honestly, it might have been before last winter. I remember I went and took some takeout once at a restaurant, and while I was waiting for my order, I ordered a can of Guinness, because, well, they had cans of Guinness, and that's what I mean, they have it on tap, it's fine, but if I'm going to order it, like, you know, like in a container, I want it in an aluminum can, not a bottle. And I remember ordering a can of Guinness while I waited for my meal to be prepared. I remember ordering a non-alcoholic beer once because I was at a kind of a dive bar and they didn't have anything that I thought might taste any good. So I was like, well, I'll try that NA. It was like an amber beer. It wasn't very good, but I gave it a shot. I hadn't tried that one before. I mean, I've had worse, believe me. I've had way worse beers than that. Probably the worst beer well... the worst beer I ever had. Oh, man. There's probably like a pretty close tie for the top 5 worst beers I ever had. Man. There was a beer called Brigade. I don't know if... I can't imagine that they're still in business, but it would have probably been before I was old enough to buy my own beer. My buddy, this one summer, I think he just liked it because it was the cheapest beer that, you know, you could probably buy a case of this stuff for like under $10. Like $7-8, $5.99 maybe. I don't know, dude. It was 20 plus years ago, so you know things were less expensive back then. You could have probably bought like an 18-pack of, you know, your run-of-the-mill, you know, like your common beers, like your Miller Lite or your Budweiser or your Coors Light. Those for like an 18-pack back then probably would have gone for like 14 or 15 bucks. Back then, you know. So getting Brigade for like half of your common beers, you know, would have sounded like a really good deal. But honestly, man, that beer was so bad, I don't know that I could really stomach one. Even after I had consumed a number of beers, right? Like, let's say I had, you know, had 8 or 9 or 10, like, whatever I would have liked back then. Probably, who knows, man? Back then, boy, oh boy, what would I have liked back then? So my taste in beer has changed so much over the years. I have, or would have, man, I'm in a bad spot here. Well, this guy's not gonna kill us anyway. Did 600 damage when he blew up? Let's just try this. Honestly, I don't even know what would have been my go-to beer back in those days. Some kind of light beer, that's for sure. Busch Light, Bud Light, something like that probably. That sounds about what would have been Zima. I remember Zima. I liked Zima when I was, well, definitely not old enough to buy my own beer, I'll say that. Oh, and then it hits. Anyway, my friend, Brigade, he'd call it getting brigaded. That beer was so bad, dude. Like, even if I'd been drinking already, and you know how, you know, after you've had a few beers, you know, it's like, even crappy beer doesn't taste that bad. This stuff, dude, ice freaking cold after I'd already had, like, you know, close to a dozen beers in the middle of summer, you know, fishing all night or something. I still couldn't bring myself to consume this stuff. It was just so vile. It was so bad. There was also this beer called Red Dog. I think that's what it was called anyway. Dude, it was I mean, it was just like Brigade, man. It was so bad. It was just so bad. It was just nasty, dude. Nasty. Nasty. I mean, just disgusting. But anyway, I kind of, you know, went from, you know, liking, you know, your standard Bud Light. Oh, you know what? You know what? I do remember what I would have been drinking back then. Michelob Light. That was back before they changed the bottle. You know, Michelob, I don't know if anybody remembers or not, but Michelob used to have a very unique bottle style. And my uncle drank Michelob. And, I liked light beer back then, though, and so I don't know that I liked Michelob because my uncle liked it or not, but I remember liking Michelob Light, and that would have been right about the right time of the Brigade, summer of Brigade, or whatever it would have been. But, you know, went through all those different, you know, beers that I thought I liked, and then I went into the green bottle phase where, like, I would like Rolling Rock or Heineken. There was a time where I liked Corona. I will say this about green bottle beers. They're piss. And same thing with, like, clear bottle beers. They use the green bottle because it's better than a clear bottle. It's supposed to filter the light better than a clear bottle. But a brown bottle filters the light. I don't know. Maybe green is supposed to filter it better than a brown bottle, but I tell you what, if you want a skunky beer, go get a bottle that is clear or green. And you're going to get yourself some good old-fashioned skunky beer. Because that's what happens. The light gets in there and it makes the beer shit. It's disgusting. And I'm not a fan. Don't like... I mean, even when it's pretty fresh, it's just... It's not good. It's not good. It just gets so skunky so fast. There is, I will say though, you know, it's funny that I say that because there is one, and you know what, that does get skunky too. There is one clear bottle beer, and I wonder if that strawberry blonde is in a clear bottle. I don't remember. It might be. That would be weird that I would like a beer that comes, well, so, there's also one called Northeast. That one I don't think comes in a clear bottle, but it might. I don't know, it's been so long. I don't even remember the last time I was... Well, I do remember the last time I was in a liquor store, but I'm pretty sure I went there to buy a gift for someone. There's a dude I used to work with, and I went and bought him a bottle of Jack Daniels as a gift. Like a thank you gift, I guess you could say. I think that's the last time I was in a liquor store. There's that lightning shield paying dividends again. It's like one of my favorite things. It's like free money, dude. It's awesome. Northeast. I forget who makes that. It's something out of Minnesota, though. Can't think of the name of the company. Anyway, it's probably just me, and I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say this before, but to me, it seems like it's got like this very subtle blueberry aftertaste to it that I always thought was pretty kick-ass. And it's a light beer. It's a good summer beer. Guinness would be my go-to beer, though. If I was gonna say, you know, like, I would say, so I've worked in bars before and stuff like that, done a number of different bartending things and stuff like that, so, what I would say would be, like, you know, your Bud Light, your Coors Light, your Miller Light, your Michelob Ultra, you know, the beers that the masses consume in large quantity. For me, that beer would be like a Guinness, you know. That would be my go-to beer that most places will carry. If I can't get some, because I hardly ever drink anymore, but if I do, I'm going to want something I enjoy, and a Guinness would be good. A nice Guinness on tap, like a nitro Guinness would be good. Usually. If it's a place that sells enough of it, you know. If they don't go through it very much and it sits there too long, then, you know, it kind of gets skunky. If they sell enough of it, or ideally they would get small kegs of it and they would go through them quickly so that it's super, super fresh, that would be the best case scenario. And they have it on nitro. That would be good. If I can't get that, I'll go for a can, aluminum can. It comes in a pint. That's usually pretty good, unless it's been sitting on the shelf for a long time. Because it will get skunky just like anything else. But Guinness is usually a pretty safe bet. They don't usually stock a lot of it, so they go through it pretty quick. In my experience. Like, they only get, you know, like, so much of it at a given time, so, you know, if they got, you know, 2 guys that come in and they're all, you know, or one table comes in and everybody's ordering Guinness, like a, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 people, you know, they'll run out of Guinness from that group of people because they a lot of times just don't carry that much of it. Like if you run into a situation like that, that's pretty much the ideal situation because you don't want, you know, this big keg sitting back there that nobody ever drinks out of and it gets old and it's nasty. Like you don't want that, that's gross. There's one place in the area that I live that has Newcastle on tap. That is really good. That is a beer that is in a clear bottle that is good. That stuff is good. If it's fresh. But that place, they have it on tap. They have it in a small keg. And it is just fantastic. It's really good. Best Newcastle I've ever had in my life at that place. Newcastle, though, you got to be careful of because if it sits on the shelf, you know, stupidest thing. You go to the liquor store and most places they have clear glass doors on the coolers, and the coolers are lighted inside. It's like, what are you doing? Do you know nothing? Do you literally know nothing about beer? That's what I think when I see stuff like that. It's like, dude, put the light outside of the cooler and put some kind of tint or something over the glass so that light doesn't ruin your beer. Or I guess if you sell enough of it where you have so much volume going through there that it doesn't matter, I guess whatever, but I don't know. The best beer I've ever had in my life is, bar none, a beer out of Wisconsin. It is a seasonal, semi-annual beer. There's a little brewery in southern Wisconsin. There's a town called New Glarus, Wisconsin. They've got a little brewery there. And they make a lot of craft beers and stuff like that. Their stuff is really good. They make good beer. But the one in particular that I'm thinking of is called New Glarus Coffee Stout. It comes out every other year right around the holidays. And it is absolutely to die for, dude. It is so good. Paying dividends with our lightning shield. I love it. That stuff is so good. It's a good thing I don't live in Wisconsin because I probably would become an alcoholic. If I could get that stuff whenever I wanted it, that wouldn't be good. That would be bad. I would rather drink that stuff at room temperature than any other beer ice cold. And this stuff is better ice cold than it is at room temperature. It's just that good. So if you ever, and the thing about it is, New Glarus, they don't have an interstate liquor license, so the only place you can get that beer is in the state of Wisconsin. Well, the only place you can legally get that beer is in the state of Wisconsin. So if you're ever in Wisconsin around the holidays, I mean, you can still sometimes get it into like April of the, the following year because they make a pretty big batch of it, and so, they're not going to sell all of it right away, and so you can usually still find it towards the end of the winter or, even late spring, like April, March. I guess that's not really late spring. I guess May would be late spring, but April, March, you can still find it, if you're lucky. Probably like a Walmart would be your best bet because they probably buy it in bulk. But yeah, New Glarus Coffee Stout. It is so good. Am I going the wrong way? Did I go down there and get... Did I get the chest down underneath here? I hate this place. I was going up that hill for a reason. I'm gonna go back up that hill. There's a save point. I just saw it on the map. But... let's do this. I want to go back down there real quick and double check because there's that little hook down there, but then it's not now on my screen anymore. So I think I was going the right way, and it's easy to get turned around on this stupid place. Okay, so I already was up there. Okay, I went up there and got the chest, then I turned. Okay. One. So it must be determined by how strong of a magic resistance the monster has. So let's try this. Crap. I'm an idiot. I haven't even been to Wakka yet, so obviously I'm still a ways from that save point. You just gotta ignore the map for the most part, because it'll screw with you on this level. So I went up there, I went and got the chest. That's what that little hook is up there. Right? Yes, okay. I know where I'm at. Alright, well I got a chance to redeem myself here and then test my theory. He misses. Unbelievable. The first time I missed the whole game? Like, I don't have any magic! Oh, you dirty piece of garbage. Alright, I gotta not... I gotta just stay focused. Dude, and then we get an overkill from it. Okay. Well, let's get our weapon back. And let's do what we can to get him some magic. Titus is getting really, really low on magic. So what my plan was to try and lower the magic defense of that electric guy so that Titus could pull more magic down out of him. But Wakka's... Nobody else could hit the guy but Wakka, because, well, because of their evasion and everything. But Wakka is strong against that creature, so he one-shots him. It's just they did such a good job when they designed this game. Such a good job. Alright, we should be coming up to Wakka the 23rd here any minute, I believe. I was originally supposed to have tomorrow off, but I put my 2-week notice in the other day, and so I was like, well, I'll just take the hours. They're short-staffed right now. The one guy's on vacation, like probably the guy who's the most important as far as the day-to-day operations go. He's on vacation for a week. They got like 4 main people, okay? There's like the guy that is, I guess you could call him the warehouse guy. He is... Each one of the 4 people, if any one of those 4 is gone, it's almost catastrophic, because there is one section of the business that can't function right, because the person that is responsible for doing all that stuff isn't there. And so they kind of have to put a band-aid on and have somebody else kind of wing it, you know? And they can get by. You know, they're able to get by, obviously, but nothing runs as well as it ought to when any one of those 4 is gone. But the guy that's gone now, so okay, so there is, I guess, the I don't know if you want to say the accountant, but there's one person that does like accounting stuff. A lot of what they do has to do with like keeping track of the, I guess you could say, the paper side of the business. And so when they aren't there and people call for the stuff that they called to talk to that person for, it's like, it's brutal. Because there's two other people that can kind of do what she does, and then the fourth one, I don't know how much he knows on that side of things. I suppose probably a lot more than I realized. But, and then the other guy, he does things that only he does. So there's some overlap, right? There is overlap where, they can take care of, the other person's tasks to some degree, but they can't fully do what the other individual does because, there's a lot of moving parts there, and so the guy that is on vacation now, it's kind of better that he died there. The guy that's on vacation now he's just an absolute wealth of knowledge. So, I don't know. They all know things that the other three don't. And they all do things that the other three don't. But the guy that's on vacation now is, I guess, kind of the glue that holds it all together. So the other three are really going to be taxed because they're not used to having to do the things that he does. So it's going to be... But on the bright side, it is a holiday week, and a lot of people are... they're not going back to work until middle of the week, or just take the whole week off. You know how people are. I mean, I'm one of the people that I like to take a break around Thanksgiving and Christmas. I like to take like a long weekend around Thanksgiving, and then I like to take like a week or two off around Christmas, and then I like to take a long weekend, or close, like 4 or 5 days off around the 4th of July. Those are like the 3 times that I like to kind of deviate from my normal work schedule. But the 4th of July, really, it's not that big of a deal. So long as I have the day off after the 4th, and I have the evening and night of the 4th off, that's what's most important. So, I don't know, that's why I had tomorrow off, but because I put my notice in, I was like, well, dude's on vacation. Yeah, I'll take the extra day of pay. It's alright. Soaked that guy for a good chunk of soul strings there. That was good. We need those. Haste shield. There's no way it's auto haste. It's just gonna be SOS haste garbage. Yeah. All right, buddy.
Greetings, lady.
We have met
Not running today?
I have to carry on. You've met him, I think.
Wait, you're that guy's brother?
My brother wanted to come, but the temple imprisoned him.
We're getting
They
pretty
imprisoned
close here
him
to the
because
end.
of
He's
us.
towards the end. We
He
probably
doesn't
have less
regret
than
it, though.
20%
In
of this.
fact, he told
Between
me
now and the
before
end,
they
the final save.
Don't worry about me.
Should just be right around the corner.
Why would your brother...
Well, I Hey, this isn't the time for talking. There's dealing to be done. Welcome to Wakka's.
Well, because he's gonna charge us an arm and a leg. There's a lot of money to be made. Let's put it that way. All right. So there's a couple things here that are a really huge deal. This is a pretty kick-ass weapon, but it's expensive. It's way too expensive to really make it worthwhile. But it is nice against one of the bosses up at the top. This is the one that I buy, though. I buy this one. This is a really, really, really good weapon. This is top notch right here. And it's Wakka. Alright, I think that's all I'm gonna buy. Nothing else is
I
really
will be
worth
sure to keep your
I'll check the items real quick to make sure. Actually, you know, he probably does have some items that I'm gonna want. I think holy water, I think you can get here for the first time.
Welcome to
Yep, there it is. And let's replenish our stock of potions. Buy 10 of these. Let's buy... That ought to be enough. And you gotta excuse me, I gotta use the restroom real quick here. Alright, sorry about that. I just had to take care of something there. Alright, well, I think we got everything. The weapon for Riku. And yeah, that alchemy is huge. So what that does is that doubles the potency of healing items. So like, for example, all bed potions now do 2,000 for everybody instead of 1,000. That's humongous. Plus 10% to strength, I believe, isn't it? Yeah. So, pretty awesome. And we were able to replenish our poison so we don't have to keep flying through our high potions for in-between battle healing. There's Wakka with that +4. Now we're kind of at that spot where, well, I think I went through and I looked and we were going to keep going there, but maybe it's time to warp him again. Down until late game. Well, not yet. There's that +4 right there. Late game support, where you get all these +4s. Well, not here yet, but agility, strength +4, evasion, accuracy, like right down here. I think I should send him down here, honestly. Not right this instant, but pretty close. This massive log jam. We could literally have 4 people in the same circle with no super ability in it. How about that? Wouldn't that be something? Alright, let's see if we can get some paying dividends. It's like the game rewards you for keeping that item on him. Alright, I think we've farmed him enough. starts lashing out with that kind of Thunder 3 on Wakka. There, this is right here, isn't it? Yeah. This is that little curl I thought I had missed, maybe. Oh, I was wrong. I'm gonna be tired tomorrow. I'm not tired at all. That's the part that sucks. I mean, if I tried laying down and going to sleep right now, I would not fall asleep. I don't even feel the slightest bit tired. In fact, I feel the opposite of tired. Which is weird. Because I've been so run down lately. I think I've been vitamin C deficient. I think I've been vitamin C deficient for a long time. When I used to smoke cigarettes, I learned somewhere along the line, I mean, I smoked for 20 years, so who knows when I learned this, but, nicotine, one thing that it does is that it's kind of like alcohol, so, you know, like, so alcohol, when you consume alcohol, your body's cells will start releasing B vitamins, B as in Bravo, and then replacing those B vitamins with the alcohol. Physiologically, for whatever reason, that's what our bodies do, okay? So that's bad, and the part of why you have a hangover when you drink, other than you're dehydrated and you've been poisoning yourself with poison, is that your body's been voided of all B vitamins, because that's what alcohol causes your body to do. Well, nicotine does the same thing with vitamin C, C as in Charlie. No, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, so it's not like I have nicotine that's coursing through my veins, causing me to dump all my vitamin C, but maybe I just don't consume enough vitamin C in my normal diet, is what I'm thinking. So, I mean, I try to take, you know, certain vitamins, like at least once a week, you know, like B, D, C, zinc, stuff like that. But I'm going to start trying to take vitamin C and zinc. I don't know, maybe I don't need to take it daily, but maybe semi-daily. And see if that doesn't do any good for me. The problem is that I just don't get the right amount of sleep. But maybe if I start consuming more vitamin C, that will help other things too. And then maybe I'll get better sleep when I do sleep. Okay, so there's nothing over here. We're almost there. We're almost at the save point. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Paying dividends. Well, we're almost there. And I'm not going to do that cavern tonight. It's already too late. I should have tried to go to bed an hour ago. Took me freaking 2 hours to get up here. Usually I just flee from a lot of the battles. It's been a long time since I climbed this whole thing, killing everything along the way. I usually just want to get that weapon for Lulu, you know? Because I usually get Holy. Well, I get Holy before I start my climb, right? Usually sometime in the Calmlands. And then, or before the Calmlands, I don't know, right around the time that I get to the Calmlands is when I get to Holy. And then I just want to get that weapon at the top because it's 80 points or like 85 points or something when you first get it. And that's like, talk about having to lance it a lot, man. Like every 2 turns you gotta lance it. Maybe it's not that bad, but it's bad. Every 2 or 3 times you use Halo, or Halo, Holy, you have to lance it, and that just gets really tedious. So I'm just in a hurry to get to the top of this mountain so I can farm that weapon off of that monster up there. So it's been a long time since I went through and killed everything on this mountain. Paying dividends, baby. The only way you could make that better, if it gave him health. Come on, Rusty's Titan. I'm gonna bring her back. Actually, no, we're good. Come on, dude. And the worst part about it is he loses the 10 magic points even if he misses, like if the guy dodges the attack, it still costs Wakka the 10 magic points. Taking Yuna and learning, well, Lance just doesn't do that. Now I'm glad I farmed that. You cast haste twice now. This is actually a really dangerous mob right here. These guys can just, they can wipe your whole party out. If you're unlucky or ill-prepared. Like if they had targeted the same person, like if they had targeted Riku twice, and I mean, I don't know, it could be bad. I should have skipped and saved that mug. I messed that up. Alright, do I want to warp him down there now? It's 4 to agility, 200 hit points, length, 3 to defense, 4 to accuracy, 4 to evasion, 4 to agility, hit points, magic points. You could use a level 3, you can get another 4 points to strength. 3 points, 4 points. We're gonna take him down here. Alright. Wait. Maybe not yet. Didn't I want to... That's where we're gonna go next. I want to get the strengths points that are up here yet. When we get to this spot here, I think that's when we're going to go ahead and do that warp. But I want to see, what do we have? I guess I can just leave Yuna there where I want to warp her and use the front. Or I can use the teleport sphere. Probably teleport sphere would be the more valuable because friend has to have someone there. Move to any alloys location. Okay. Return to any previously activated node. Oh, so Wakka can go back to any place he's been before. Okay. So the closest to them would be, yeah, okay, so return. I guess I could do that. I could return here later if I wanted. And then unlock this and go back into late game Wakka. Where you get +3. Yeah, it's not that great where Wakka's at. There's a +4. +4. Okay. That's good. +4. Okay, here we go. Now we're talking. How do we get in there? don't know how the hell I'm gonna get in there. Well, we'll figure that out at a different time. The question is, what? Friend, return, and skill, right? Or friend, return, and teleport. I don't see anything for shield. What about weapon? Return is first strike. We don't care about that. So return is, we can spend that however we want to, however we feel like. Skill. No, that's not what we're talking about. There we go. Friend is counterattack. We're probably not going to put that on anything. And evading counter is teleport. So probably we're not going to use either of these. So it's probably best just to use those on Wakka to move him around the map. Get as many +4s as we can.
All this way only to fail. It must have been tough.
Okay, well, we need to keep that in mind to make sure we get all of our hit points full. I almost could have died right there. Boy, that would have sucked. I would have been so pissed. Dude, these guys would have wiped us out if they could have gone first. Thankfully, we have first strike, so we wouldn't have gone, you know... I would have probably been able to salvage it, but... there's no guarantee of it. We could have been... game over right there. And that would have been my fault because I wasn't paying attention. I was just thinking ahead too far. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plant Yuna down. I'm going to move her to the spot that I want to send Wakka. And then I'll still have a teleport sphere that I can use to a place of my choosing. Well, you never know what might happen after this fight. I may as well try and get what I can. Or even before this fight, dude. If he had a hit with that confuse on Wakka, dude, that could have been catastrophic. With that in mind, I'm not going to haste him. That concerns me. That's the big problem with having a character built like Wakka is built right now. I do need to get him some confuse-proof armor. And I think up in the cavern we will run into the monster that we can collect that musk from. And so we should be okay with that before we get to the top of the mountain. Somebody's still letting off fireworks out there. There you go. Way to go, Riku. Dude, he's still not hitting with that. It's like the game knows this is probably the final battle before the save point. It doesn't want it to end. This guy is just not hitting him. Yeah, that was real tough. I feel really bad for that guy. Couldn't make it to the save point. He was so close. Alright, well, that's it. We got to the save point right before the cave. I'm not going to do the cave. It's already 20 to 2 here. Even though I'm not tired, I have to lay down and try to rest. Anyway, thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will try and get on here tomorrow and finish Mount Gagazet. Anyway, you have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless, and I'll see you soon, Lord willing.